Khabib did a talk recently in New York, talking about, any number of things. Said he wished peace upon McGregor, actually, which I thought was a pretty cool development. But I think the biggest takeaway from, the talk that he did is he said that it's not him who has to deal with the UFC, so he can break the news. They've signed a contract for JDM versus Islam at MSG. That's according to Khabib.
Listen, Islam Makhachev, no longer the pound-for-pound number one. That's Ilia Topuria. But by far, one of the biggest names in the sport. I'm just surprised. Not that I'm saying he's not a star big enough, because he is. He's Islam Makhachev. Madison Square Garden versus Jack Della Maddalena. It's a tremendous fight. And of course, if that is the main event, I thought that might have been in like Abu Dhabi or maybe even in Australia. But still, if that's what Khabib is saying, then obviously that's going to be the main event. And that's, incredible fight.
They're needing something there, right? They've been looking for something. And I think Islam moving up to a new weight class to take on Jack, who looked phenomenal in his fight with Bilal. I could see it happening. I think they're going to add some awesome fights onto that card as well. Have they announced has anything been announced for that so far?
Well, no, but I saw, just to relate to that, I saw Paddy last night, and when I went in, I interviewed Rinya Nakamura after he beat Nathan Fletcher. When I walked by, obviously Paddy was there, and he was very upset for his teammate, and we had a quick 2-minute conversation, and he was like, "Oh, fair play, it was a great kick." I'm like, what are you going to do, right in the liver? I said, "So what's going on? Are you fighting Ilia?" And he's like, "I don't know." And I'm like, "Come on, tell me." And he's like, "No, seriously, I don't know what's going on." So as I say, how that relates to Madison Square Garden, I would have thought Ilia Topuria versus Paddy Pimblett would have blown the absolute roof off Madison Square Garden. So I wasn't, it's not that I'm talking bad about Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena. That's a phenomenal fight. But Ilia versus anyone, because I think Ilia is the biggest name in all the sport right now. And I think the timing would have worked out for Ilia at MSG. Harrington.
Well, what I was going to say is there's nothing set in stone that says it's going to be the main event. Why couldn't you have Islam versus Jack for the welterweight title and Ilya on the same card, set up the battle for the number one pound for pound that night?
Whoa. You can't put Islam. You can't put Ilya as the main event and Islam as the co-main event.
Unless they're trying to set that up for the next fight, where if they both win their fights, they're right there in the same building. I don't see it happening either, but that would be some epic shit.
That would be some epic shit, but it ain't going to happen. No way.
Because one of those guys is going to say, "No way, why am I the co-main to," where really it doesn't matter at the end of the day. If they're talking pay-per-view points, that's just only going to get so many more pay-per-views for both those guys if they're stacked together. But I see egos getting involved potentially there.
Yeah, I hope that fight happens one day. I think he will. Islam said he wants it now. So, and if he gets beaten by Jack Della Maddalena, then he's going to come back down. Oh, hold on. Do you think if Islam, even if he beats Jack, which is a big if, it's a big if,
Yeah. It is a big if. But he did say that he wasn't. Remember, like, now things are starting to make sense a little bit.
Stays at welterweight?
Maybe not. Not with Ilya floating around. I think now that Ilya went and knocked out Charles in the way that he did, they put him number one pound for pound over him. Now he's got reason. He didn't necessarily need it or have it when Ilya was moving up from featherweight. It would have been another featherweight. You can see his argument there. Now Ilya's fought at 155 for the belt. He knocks Charles out. He's been mocking him. He's been making fun of him. Then they put him above him in the pound for pound rankings. And you're talking about a guy where that shit matters to these Dagestani guys. Being the best, being the ultimate professional through and through. That's what it is for them. So again, I don't see that happening, but goddamn, that would be, so I think even if he beats Jack, there's a world where then he goes right back down and fights for because he's looking for legacy. How many more fights do you think Islam really sticks around for? He's going to be like Khabib. He's going to do his damn thing. And if he can do it almost flawlessly, because obviously he'd been finished one time, he'll be smart.
He he lives a pretty simple life. He's got that farm up there in Dagestan. He's got a bunch of animals up there. You know, I mean, he's got it figured out.
Yeah.
He's got the dirt bikes. He's got all the animals. He's raising his own, you know, livestock and stuff like that. He's already bought all the land. He's got millions of dollars in the bank because he's
generational wealth for everybody over there. Like, you know what I mean? Like at that level.
And not just generational wealth from the UFC. It's like he's Islam Makhachev. You know what I mean?
They're taking care of him over that way too.
Yeah, of course. And like, you know, appearances and seminars and endorsement deals and stuff like that. I mean, Khabib, I think, was gifted a bunch of land from the Russian government, if I'm not mistaken, like a tremendous amount of land, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, I mean, they're doing pretty well. They're doing good. However, I don't think going up to 170, beat Jack, take the belt, then relinquish the belt and undermine it, and then just let two dudes at welterweight fight for a belt that just got vacated.
Well, that's the problem. That's the problem.
Which is what GSP did. Which is what GSP did.
Yeah. And it messes things up. And I think I do think that's where the concern is coming from the UFC, and why they were trying to be a little bit harsher on this is they don't want this. But we all know that if the fight is right, they'll let certain things slide if it makes complete sense. Like if Islam's like, I got 2-3 more fights in me. Let me go beat this guy. Let me go fight one more time at welterweight. Deuces.
Yeah. Well, we shall wait and see.
We shall see.
All right, today's episode is sponsored by Huel. And if you are a busy man in the morning, if you are on the go, but you still want to get a complete nutritious meal in your body, but you don't have time to do it, well, guess what? Huel is here to save the day. They are today's sponsor, and they have you covered. Huel, Huel, and their Black Edition is a complete meal so you feel full, focused, and ready for the day. Little prep so you can grab and go. Huel's already sold over 500 million meals around the world, and now is your turn to try it. New customers right now can get 15% off at Huel.com when you use the code BELIEVE.